Hi dear friends, good morning. Welcome to my channel. It's Akshay Dare by Devraj. I hope you guys are prepared and working and learning to become very fluent in English. So let me start today's newspaper. Before going to start the newspaper, I would request you guys to please subscribe to my channel, like and comment. And if you like the video, please share with your friends, colleagues, and the neighbors. And let me start today's newspaper reading. Yes, dear friends, let's start today's newspaper reading. It is a nice. It is the Hindu paper, which is very important for the competitive exams preparation, especially for the aspirants. Yes, let's see in the what is in the front page. Four get 7 years in prison, which leader acquitted. Yes, all in one policy plan. All in one policy plan. So let's close this. It is not working due to many reasons. Let's is all in one policy plan to spread insurance in India. IRDAI is devising an affordable product covering health, life, property, accident risks to give citizens protection. So expedite claim settlement by linking death registries onto one registry platform. Cover drive for the uninsured. China constructing model villages opposite the LAC. BBMP officials private firm booked. BBMP officials private company booked over fraudulent poll contract. Electronic City Metro Corridor may start operation by December 2023. BMTC introduces new route training program for unemployed youth. The MSME Development Facilitation Center Office, Ministry of MSME Rajajinagar Industrial Estate, Bengaluru proposes to conduct a 4-week training program for the benefit of unemployed youth in programming and operation of CNC, Lathe and Machine Center from June 5th. Engineering as graduates or diploma holders or ITI machine traders and technically experienced candidates are eligible to apply. Disruption in power supply. Revenue Department to roll out Kaveri 2.0. Well-paid trust booked for damaging BWSSP pipe. Malayalam film 2018 second best performance in city after Kerala. Vegas jewelry from 3,000 for nursery students to 21,000 for high schoolers. Prices of books at private schools, Royal Paints. Poor enrollment with you Malingo discontinuing Kannada medium engineering course. Poor response to BSc courses. Cambridge International announces results of March exam series. IMB ranked among the top 50 global providers of executive education. ICSE examination. Students of these institutions bring laurels. KSRTC stop operation urges CM to implement free bus ride for women. Man arrested on charge of assaulting Giscom of stop. Wipro to be title sponsor of Bengaluru Marathon for next 3 years. Talks continue on cabinet expansion, portfolio allocation list likely today. More than 50 MLAs and MLCs are camping in Delhi and lobbying with central leaders of the party. Swearing-ins may be held tomorrow. I will attend Parliament building inauguration STD. Reversing laws, activists asks government to Congress to walk the talk. BJP condemns Priyanka's remarks. Praveen Sood takes over as CBI director. Former Karnataka DGP Praveen Sood taking charge as CBI director in New Delhi on Thursday. Discussion on ban of organizations only when situations arises for Mishra. Congress government's future depends on outcome of LS polls, claims SDK. Nikhil submits resignation as JDS youth wing chief. Indigo flight aborts take off after bird hit in Bangalore. SC to take up Kadapa MP's bail plea today. Kannada cinema's content crisis. Kannada cinema writing is simple, yet it is not. Writing for women. Amusing Cine Metro City Scripts. The annual Urban Writings Festival will be held this weekend. Films such as Putu, Pedro, Sivamma, and Koli Esru turned out to be big hits on the festival circuit. Does this indicate a new movement in the Kannada parallel cinema space? Growing under the radar, technology and easy access to word films has helped many follow their dreams of making films. Leaving on a jet plane, Moon Hara is set to tour Sweden, Germany, Australia, Italy, and Hungary, collaborating with musicians there on original compositions. An ordinance, it's a constitutionality and a scrutiny. An ordinance, it's a constitutionality and scrutiny. This is the editorial page, guys. So let me read this editorial page and let's check what is in editorial page. Yes. On May 19th, 2023, the President of India exercised legislative power under Article 123 of the Constitution. During the period Parliament was in recess to promulgate the Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Ordinance 2023. The ordinance negates a constitution bench judgment of the Supreme Court of India, which was delivered on May 11th, that brought services under the Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi. Key issues. Two issues here that require analysis. First, the scope of the court's verdict. Second, the constitutionality of the ordinance. While interpreting Article 239A3A, the court ruled inter alia that these were the points. The Legislative Assembly of the NCTD has competence over entries in List Second and List Third, except for expressly excluded entries of List Second. Entries First, Second, 18 are excluded. The executive power of NCTD is coextensive with its legislative power, that is, it shall extend to all matters with respect to which it has power to legislate. The Union of India has executive power only over the three entries in List Second, over which the NCTD does not have legislative competence. Entries First, Second, 18. Thus, essentially, the court interpreted that out of the 66 entries in List Second, the state list, while the executive power of the government of NCTD covers 63 entries, That of the Union Bank of India is restricted to the remaining three: public order entry first, police entry second, and land entry 18. Consequently, executive power over services entry 41 can be exercised exclusively by the government of the NCTD. This interpretation of the court is consistent with the wordings of Article 239A3A, but this interpretation was negated by the Union of India acting through its Council of Ministers and Article 74 by triggering extraordinary legislative power of the President and Article 123 in the promulgation of an ordinance on May 19th. What the ordinance did was to read or insert entry 41 list of second state list into Article 239A3A, thereby expanding the scope of expected matter from 3(1) to 18 to 4(1) to 41. This could not have been done without amending Article 239A3A of the Constitution. The power conferred on Parliament under Article 239A3B is to make fresh laws, not to amend Article 239A3A of the Constitution. Alteration needs an amendment. Similarly, power conferred on Parliament under Article 239A7A is to make laws for giving effect to or supplementing the provisions contained in various clauses of Article 239A and for all matters incidental or consequential thereto. Such a power cannot be pressed into action to amend Article 239A3A of the Constitution. Significantly, Article 239A7B stipulates that Parliament's law making under Article 239A7A shall not be deemed to be an amendment of the Constitution for the purposes of Article 368. No such clause has been stipulated in Article 239A3A. Therefore, altering the scope of Article 239A3A requires constitutional amendment article under Article 368. There is not an iota of doubt. Consequently, the ordinance promulgated under Article 22123 of the Constitution to expand the scope of expected matters in Article 239A3A is wide of issue and is liable to be struck down for bypassing constitutional amendment. It amounts to a colorable exercise of power. Article 123 is no substitute for Article 368 Amendment of the Constitution in Part 20. Besides, when a constitutional bench, five judges of the Supreme Court declares, interprets in the law Article 239A3A, the same is binding on all courts and authorities in India in terms of Article 141 and 144. Respectively, could Articles 141 and 144 have been negated by Article 123 without a constitutional amendment? Article 123, 141, 144 are in Part 5, the Union of the Constitution. None has a non-obstante clause. The head and advice of the Union Council of Ministers to the President under Article 74 could not have avoided Article 144. The basis of the court judgment is Article 239A3A. To alter this basis, a constitutional amendment is necessary. A perspective. The Union of India's decision to prepare, review Article 137 and promulgate an ordinance Article 123 simultaneously is ill-conceived. If the ordinance is challenged, the Union of India is unlikely to succeed through either route to arrest power of services in Delhi. In the landmark 7-judge bench verdict of the Supreme Court in the matter of Krishna Kumar Singh vs. State of Bihar 2017-2 SCC 136, the court held that the satisfaction of this president under Article 123 is not immune from judicial scrutiny. Powers under Article 123 is not a parallel source of law making or an independent legislative authority. It was further held that the court is empowered to look into the relevance of material placed before the President, but not its sufficiency or adequacy. The ordinance is likely to be struck down since it expands accepted matters in Article 239A 3A. Parliament alone can do this under Article 368. This is about the editorial page. Let me go to the next. The economics that looks at the lower half of the pyramid. Lower half of the pyramid. What is in this? Is a former member planning commission and hearts of a billion fireflies. Critical conversations to shape a new post-pandemic world. It is the economy stupid, Bill Clinton said in the 1990s, while politicians and political analysts are focused on communal polarization and caste cleavages. A deeper divide amongst classes is silently reconfiguring the Indian electorate, says the Psychologist Yogendra Yadav. The numbers of Indians left behind by the growth of the economy now exceeds 50%, with reservations in employment for economically weaker sections of Indian citizens, regardless of caste and religion, are now necessary. Most Indians, whatever their religions or caste, they have a felt need of a new paradigm of economics. The theme at the Global Solutions Summit in Berlin on May 15 and 16 this year was a new paradigm for the economy. Its backdrop was the rising tensions in the East between the United States and China, and the war in the West between the North Atlantic Treaty Organization and Russia. Military wars are being couched as wars between democracy and autocracy. The G7, representing 15% of the world's citizens, who are ostensibly on the side of democracy, are autocratically, critically, and undemocratically twisting the arms of other governments representing 85% of the people to take their side. The think tank of the think tanks of the G20 and other countries at the summit called attention to global problems of climate change, increasing economic inequalities within among countries, and the effects of the financial and trade sanctions imposed by the most powerful nation, which are affecting the other 85% most of all. Changes political and economic divisions among the economic haves and have-nots are shaking up politics around the world, and forces now on both the left and right of the political spectrum have gained strength in all countries. The extreme left wants revolutionary change in both economic and social power structure. The extreme right, fearing instability with threats from the left, wants to protect established social and economic systems. Economic liberals in the middle are murdered. They fear a constant concentration of political power but allow a concentration of wealth. Economies were reformed towards socialism in the last century after the global depression to rebalance incomes and wealth. Many European countries adopted a socialist model while maintaining their cultural traditions. Further east, communism brought about a revolutionary reform of economic and social power structures. In the West, the US introduced social security, increased taxes to raise resources for the government, and it introduced laws enabling labor unions within enterprises. The tide turned in the 1980s, steered by an economic ideology of free markets and spurred by the policies of Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan. Thereafter, the objectives of reforms imposed by the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank on countries whenever they needed economic assistance required undoing of socialist reforms made earlier. Any government that tried to strengthen the social safety net was declared as socialist and anti-reform. Governance of all countries, whether its leaders are democratic or autocratic, must be for the benefit of common citizens, not to benefit financial investors. Ease of living of the poorest citizens and reduction of precarity in their lives must be the principal measures of good governance, not ease of doing business and reduction of risks of financial investors. Subsidies bad incentives good. The new concept of reforms following Reagan a dictum that government is not the solution, it is the problem, required governments to downsize their budgets and reduce taxes to make more room for capital markets. Subsidies for the food became bad while incentives for investors were good. The private sector, with its focus on the bottom line, can be more economically efficient than the public sector. However, the private sector is not expected to subsidize the cost of its services. Therefore, economic reforms favoring the private sector have increased economic precarity in even in rich countries. Financial capitalization spread around the world with the globalization of economies from the 1980s, with finance flowing freely across national borders. An elite class of global citizens and multinationals emerged who were comfortable everywhere but did not seem to belong anyway. Resident in many countries, they avoided paying taxes in any tax rates raised to the bottom to attract their investments. Reacting to these trends, both Donald Trump on the right and Bernie Sanders on the left demanded that global corporations contribute to the well being of common citizens. Mr. Trump by bringing jobs back for Americans, Mr. Sanders by increasing taxes and expanding social security. Mr. Biden in the middle is struggling to pass economic reforms through a divided Congress. Liberty, equality, fraternity are universal essentials of democracy. With justice for righting historical social wrongs, particularly casteism, they are also objectives of India's constitution. Free market capitalism is founded on the principle of liberty in the economy, with rights for everyone to use their properties as they will. Free market economies grow with competition among individuals, firms, and nations to all desirous of more wealth and power than others. Free market economy models do not have much place for socialist values of equality and fraternity, and property rights trump human rights in capitalism. Therefore, free market capitalism and liberal human democracy find it difficult to coexist in any country. GDP has measure of progress. The size of the GDP, a quantitative aggregate of all economic activity, whether it improves or harms people and the planet, became the overall measure became the overall measure in the measure of progress in the 20th century. 20th century economics is founded on a model of an economy as a system of materials and energy in a general equilibrium. In this model, supply and demand are balanced by prices set by an invisible hand. It presumes there are no powerful monopolies that set the rules of the game. In an economy's mathematized model, politics interferes with good economics. Its mathematics has no place for human aspirations, forces for social equality, and political forces fighting for justice. The model of growth that has guided national and international policies since the 1990s will not create healthy democracies. Economics needs urgent reform to guide progress towards universal social and ecological well-being. All Indian political parties must concentrate on the economy for the sake of the people. Indian economists too must rethink the paradigm of economics and concentrate on the requirements of the lower 50% of the pyramid and not trust wealth to trickle down on its own. This is about the economy of the world. So let me go to the it's, at least read it twice, guys, to understand good. So then you may understand very well. So that if you are very a beginner in learning, so it will take some time to understand each and everything. At least you have to repeat till you understand. So at least read the newspaper for 2 hours maximum. It will make you very fluent in the next maximum next 30 days. So lost opportunity. The inauguration of Parliament building should have marked a fresh start. After Bakmat, let me go to the next page. Should state revert to the old pension scheme? Understanding history is inevitable for journalists, regardless of the story they are following on a particular day. Context is key. Rethink boycott decision. Arimala tells opposition. The ministers say parties which are speaking of President Seminins ran a bitter campaign against her. She terms Parliament the temple of democracy, says Centre has given due respect to Imam Murmu. All in one policy plan to spread insurance. One man's ego has denied President her right. Congress, the arrogance of your government has destroyed the parliamentary system, says Kargi. Hamid Central Tamil's outreach historical claims in the scanner. Evidence seen on government's claim about the scepter. China on constructing villages along LAC. YSRCP leaders stabbed in hospital after group clash in Kuppam. 4 get 7 years in prison for Alva lynching. VHP leader acquitted. Food grains, oilseed harvest will break record, says Sinto. Ministers say sugarcane production is also likely to hit record levels. Estimates reached from crop feedback provided by the states. Sure to visit Manipur soon to hold talks to restore peace. SBG to be headed by DG rank officer, says Ministry rules. Powar backs Kejriwal in his fight against Centre's ordinance. Four of nomadic family crushed under a tree. Very bad. Two more cheetah calves die at Kuno Park. One unwell. Jharkhand could not develop as expected, says Moo. New committee to keep watch on cheetah project. International and national exports are part of the panel formed in the wake of Kuno Cup deaths. Hamid reports of shortage. FCCI to hold surveillance on milk and milk products. Multiple back-to-back exams on a day leave CUT applicants stressed. Congress asks why East in rolling out of fortified rice. 3 boards as demons. NSO group Armenian sacked with Pegasus spyware doing war, says NGO. Military leader gets 18 years in prison over a US capital attack. 3 killed, 1 injured in shooting incident in Japan. Iran says it has successfully tested long-range ballistic missile. Chinese hackers attacking infrastructure warns US. Moscow to shut Swedish consulate border diplomats. Wagner says it is handing Bakhmut to Russia army. US visa policy doesn't bother Bangladesh. Tina Turner, Queen of Rock and Roll, who wrote Rule Book for Women in the Genre. Government trying to link TCS and overseas spends to local TDS. CA says moves aims is to help smoothen cash flows. Nageshwaran expands the 20% tax collection at source and international court spends meant as deterrent targeting people who are evading taxes. For retirees, leave encashment now tax free till 25 lakh. TVS supply chains Dinesh assumes office has CII president. Madras ST restaurant CC high over Manila bid to raise pre-cold stake. DGCA seeks go first revival plan in 30 days. Rishad Premji took 50% pay cut in financial year 23. Drug maker Granules and has it by IT security incident. Sports page is not Burma replacement, just doing my job, says Madhwal. A professional needs to take everything in his stride. Naveen. Dhoni braver, 100% sure Dhoni will return to CSK next year. Not cancelling ASCB contract to play in MLS. Can Gujarat Titans hurt Mumbai Indians upsurge? How Conway has powered the Super Kings engine. Different individuals have stepped up in the 2 year cycle. Djokovic seeded to meet number one Alcaraz in semis. Brighton and City's winning run to secure top six finish. Asia Cup impasse resolution likely on Sunday. Sindhu Pranaya Srikanth in last 8, Lakshya out. Satyan Sharath and Manika among the retired players. We are look to Telex to take home farm into European leg. Breaching 90 m is a target, not have position needed. For the last few years, the process of getting better has taken priority for the Javelin and Wonder kind as the maturity are to not let results define it. Discipline and self-belief have helped Nishan punch his way to success. Why Indians feel lonely in a crowded country, the cultural nuances of people who are physically surrounded by others but may not always feel supported in their relationships, jobs, and daily interactions. Why loneliness is a cause for concern. How do the new US dropped recommendations for breast cancer screening impact India? This is the last page, last almost end. We are why do judges rescue themselves? What is meant by recusal? Do mass recusals call into question judicial transparency? What rules has the Supreme Court formulated in the past on recusals? How do other countries deal with recusals and judicial bias? Analyzing the heart, the birth of strong Dalit feminist heroes. The recently released web series, alongside its gripping tale of mysterious murders and the search for the mastermind criminal, offers an intelligent social commentary about the deep presence of caste hierarchies, oppressive feudal control, and the deep-rooted communalism of the ruling Halites. American singer Tina Turner passed away on May 24, 2023 after a long illness. She is a quiz on the life and works of the Queen of Rock and Roll. Yes, guys, please read the news to know your English. Please read the last page, and I hope you guys enjoy the reading the newspaper. I'm going to hand, and please subscribe to my channel and like and comment for more videos related to education and health and personal interviews and for job related information. So please subscribe to my channel, like and comment. See you in the upcoming videos. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care.